Hi guys, and welcome back to another Let's Build episode. So last time we were building up the outer walls, the outer layers of defense of Castle Eastguard, which is going to be on, or is on, the mouth of Lordsport Bay. And in this episode, guys, we're going to be building up the keep. We're actually going to be finishing up Eastpoint. We're going to be finishing up the entire district. It's taken us, I think, over a year. But I'm really excited to finish off this area of Lordsport. Now, if you guys are new to the channel at all, we do a lot of tutorials and time-lapses just like this one, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also guys, if you're new to the series at all, I'll leave a link in the card above to both the full Let's Build Bataria series and Let's Build Lordsport series. Anyway, let's get into building. Alright, so yeah, we had the big magenta keep. We kind of had that very Norman style keep going on. I wanted to do a whitewash on this one, so I tried out some materials. The main thing that I've actually found is that calcite is an absolutely awesome block, so I absolutely love calcite. I'm actually using less diorite, so although I've got diorite in the walls here, I actually go in and just wipe that out later on. So what I wanted to do with this is still have some of the stone bricks so that it kind of ties its way together. I didn't want to have everything white. I wanted to have some like kind of highlighted points, and actually this does help quite a lot. We've got the two layers at the bottom of the castle. I've actually gone with just having kind of like a buttress, having support on the bottom, and going with stone brick that kind of ties it with, yeah, the rest of the kind of castle grounds. I tried out a ton of different window combinations. Actually took me ages to finally decide what to go with. Really surprised actually. I think part of the problem was because it was on an angle, that made it quite difficult, but it was also just trying to find out what kind of style I wanted to go with this kind of whitewash effect in the background. So yeah, I played around with lots of different styles. I found that what really worked with this in particular was using the stone brick to kind of act as the border. So actually I started off with the whole thing being whitewashed, but it needed something to tie together with the stone bricks, and so I'm using that and using stone to kind of add my details in. Because of the castle kind of, you know, being in place for such a long time, the keep itself has actually been tweaked a lot. So a lot of where the original arrow slits were, which were just used as arrow slits, those have been replaced with full windows. Initially I tried it out with the tinted windows to give that a go, but yeah, it all kind of works out in the end. Now on the side of the keep, we've actually got this little area here, and I actually wanted to create some kitchens. So I wanted some kitchens and kind of like a bit of a storehouse, a bit of a kind of servants' quarters on the side here. So we've got this little building that kind of attaches onto it. We've got a toilet that goes out to the outside walls, so that actually does have some plumbing in it where it will drop things to the outside and to the sea. And also around this kind of area I wanted to have lots of things being dried. So this is where, you know, the servants are going to be taking clothes, washing clothes, things like that around that small area there. And then just onto the side here, because this is going to be, you know, it's still got some pretty good views, but it's not the best out of all of them. But the main thing with this area is that it's actually got a really big kind of flat face, so I really needed to break this up somehow. So I decided to put in a nice balcony using those copper slabs. I'm loving the copper blocks at the minute. Just add something to the whole thing. Then we've got the kind of back of the keep itself. Now this is where you've got these awesome views, so I really wanted to kind of make the most of those. So we've got two balconies at different levels, some really big windows as well around, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. And I ended up actually putting in the supports all the way around this bit. It made the actual walkway quite thin, but it kind of makes a lot of sense to have those supports and really frames the keep a lot better. So now going on to the kind of second barbican, the little barbican. This is just an extra kind of layer of defense before you get to the main entrance of the keep. Now with the keep, it has actually got, I think it's 2 blocks thick for most of it. For the first 2 layers, I think it's about 10 blocks or so going up. So we needed extra defense. So I decided to build this little kind of barbican in here. But what I did end up doing is in the little bailey, so this is on the other side of it, cutting into the inner part of it on one side to build some stables in. I didn't do that on the other side, but probably what we'll have is some form of storage room under there on that side. And you can just see me putting in some internal stairs. Now they do this quite often where they have wooden stairs, because in a case of being attacked, they can actually dismantle those, set them on fire, things like that. And generally you don't want a fire around a castle, even though it's mostly stone. Everything inside it will go up. And then getting onto the actual entrance of the keep, I wanted to do something a little bit fancy, so we've got these 2 small towers on here. So we kind of end up having a nice kind of area on that, but I also wanted to try and figure out, you know, how many layers can I go up, or how many levels can I go up, and I actually went up 3 layers or 3 levels in total, but still had lots of balconies and windows to kind of make it all look quite good. Now, of course, we need a castle blacksmith, and there's this perfect little area in here where we've got the side where we've got a walkway up into the main barbican, and this nice little like nook just worked perfectly for actually putting in a bit of a blacksmith. And then also in here, I wanted to do a little bit of detail, so I've got some, you know, little bits of targets here, and also a well, so there'll be a bit of a well where water can be, you know, put into there or collected into a kind of underground cavern. But here is the finished build, guys. I'm so excited to show you guys. I have absolutely loved doing this entire project, doing all of Eastpoint. Has actually been much more of a bigger challenge than I ever thought it would, but you know, the castle just looks awesome. I love it. This is actually my favourite castle that I've ever built, and of course I built it on an angle, which made it even more difficult, but I think the final effect, all of the different buildings that we've actually got in here, they all look really good. We've got all the nice kind of keeps, the roofs around as well of those towers, and it all just kind of fits together really quite nicely. Tons of detail onto it as well. You can see that it's been tweaked over time, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.